Hello everyone, Dunkurtin here, and welcome back to the Nita Cup 750k5. We're up to round 4 now with the losers A bracket today. Just 4 contestants, 2 matchups today. We have the Aftershave going head to head with the Parallel Almace, and the Volcano going up against the Hurricane today. Getting a lot closer to the end of our tournament, so looking forward to some good matchups today. Let's get this all started. Alright guys, with our first matchup today, we have the Parallel Almace spawning in second against the Aftershave. Dropped its first barrage of missiles, but none of them seem to have connected with the Aftershave that I can see. There was some Darker coming out as well, but it does not appear to be any real damage on the Aftershave as of yet. We slowly make our way in for the second attack run. Aftershave's lasers going to work. Looks like its Ducker is making contact as well a little bit. Not getting through those shields though. Whereas the Parallel Almace's cannons do not appear to be firing very much, and their missiles aren't making contact. I think that's because the Almace's cannons are... Sorry, get rid of the UI. The Almace's cannons are actually on the top, I believe. So because it's flying so much higher than the Aftershave, it's just not getting the right attack angle for its actual Darker. So here comes the Aftershave again, unleashing its Darker and its lasers. I think those lasers might be the deciding factor in this match so far. Looks to be the main thing making contact. Can some of these missiles hit? No. So yeah, the Parallel Almace needs to kind of lose some height, like maybe take some damage so it loses altitude, so that these cannons can get to work. Okay, so some of the shields seem to be flickering on the Almace now. Looks like it must have taken some damage to the engine. And it has just lost flight capability by the looks of things. Ooh, what happened to the Aftershave there? They are both taking damage. Both crafts are down in the water right now. Can the Aftershave get a firing angle? Yes, it can. This is just a matter of who can destroy who point blank right now. So this time I did remember to make sure that everyone is attacking salvage, so when the Volcano's match comes up it will not fly off again if it's winning. It was the only one that actually required changing, or the only contender still left in the competition that required changing. So right now things are not looking good for the Parallel Almace. It looks like it's almost dead in the water. Got no weapons making any movement here. These turrets are just sitting still. Very little shielding left. It's got some repair bots just fluttering around going to work there, but I do not think the Aftershave will give it long. It's directly above. As you can see, yeah, the Aftershave just raining its Darker down now on top of what's left of the Almace. But the Aftershave itself is looking pretty healthy. Is it missing? Doesn't seem to be really missing too much. And yeah, the parallel Almase is toast. So that's the end of our first matchup here today. The aftershave has taken it from the parallel Almase. Still got possibly 2 more rounds left, depending how the next one goes. There we go, that's pretty much total destruction. I mean, there's still a shield on there, but that's it. So we'll see how this goes in the next matchup. Alright, so this time around we have the aftershave spawning in second. Can the parallel Almase get the drop on it now that it's had a good chance to level itself out? Certainly landed something there on the parallel Almase. Unfortunately, that huge barrage of missiles that looked like it could connect just missed. The aftershave kind of just managed to duck under it. Kind of can't help but think that maybe if that explosion at the back hadn't have made it lose a little bit of altitude, possibly, like it looked like it did, it might have connected. There we go. The aftershave has opened fire. Parallel Almase also opened fire. A lot of ducker coming in. A lot of ducker going out. The aftershave is not as heavily shielded as the Almase though, so its ducker is not as effective. So if those lasers do not do enough damage before the Almase's ducker takes them out, so I don't think many of those shots are getting through the Almase's shields. But it doesn't appear to have any smoke defenses either. Ooh, big explosion on the aftershave there. Not quite sure what it's lost. Maybe damage to a custom jet, I think, maybe? He's not in a good spot right now. Alright, so the Almase certainly has come back strong and brought itself back into this competition now. Taking the second round of this matchup quite decisively. I don't know, it must have taken some jet damage because I have never seen the Almase actually just continuously attack for that long. Yeah, it's got no flight capabilities, which actually helped it because usually it just does quick attack runs, like really long attack runs. And I think if it had done that then, it wouldn't have dished out as much damage in such a short amount of time. So we will be going to our decider matchup here. Unfortunately, for the Almase, it will be spawning in second again. So hopefully that doesn't play too much of an effect. For the final matchup, I'll try to spawn them further apart than I usually do to even it out as much as possible. Alright guys, here we go. I've spawned the parallel Almase in with the aftershave only barely in sight, so they've both had time to level themselves out and hopefully have a really even matchup here for their final decider. Looks like not much damage done on either side from these first attack runs, except that the aftershave is actually in a spin, so it must have taken some jet damage. Got an explosion going on somewhere here. I can only assume on the aftershave, as there are only missiles from the Almase flying around at the moment. It seems to have leveled itself out and is heading back towards the Almase though. Not entirely sure what the Almase is doing though. Is it coming back over? Here we go. Maybe it took some damage as well. It doesn't seem to be flying straight in for an attack run either. Yeah, the Almace is definitely acting weird here. Appears to have taken some jet damage. Going very slow, it looks like. We have an explosion on the aftershave there. Nothing too vital, it looks like. I feel like the parallel Almace does not want to keep letting the aftershave shoot it from behind here. Looks like some of its shields are down. The Darko is starting to get through. What actually manages to land, at least. Where was... Oh! Oh! But the aftershave has lost its turret. There is a lot going on here. Is this the end for the aftershave? Alright guys, that is it. The parallel Almace continues to fight on and stay in this competition. And unfortunately, the aftershave has reached the end of its time here with us. Great design though. And yeah, that's it. Let's move on to our other matchup for today, the Volcano versus the Hurricane. Okay, so we got the Hurricane spawning in second here against the Volcano. A lot of missiles going out. It looks like a lot of that first volley did actually manage to make contact at the end of the cannons on the Volcano. Now, as we've seen in previous matchups, the Volcano is pretty hard to hit with missiles, and the Hurricane is pretty much all missiles, but it is a lot of missiles. So, will the Volcano continue its run of avoiding and outrunning every missile shot at it? Or will the Hurricane be lucky enough to intercept it? So the Volcano right now struggling to get a good attack angle. They're both circling pretty tight, so none of these missiles making contact, but the Volcano not getting much ducker off either. This could be a very long match, guys. Just going to let this play out from a bit of a distance so that I can time lapse this all nicely for you all and it doesn't take forever to watch. Okay, for some reason the Hurricane has gone down into the water. I don't think it actually took any hits, so I have no idea why it went down. But it's straight back up. Alright, so we've seen there a couple times the Volcano has run into some of those missiles. I just want to get a closer look now, see if it's done any real damage. Does not appear to have really. But yeah, as you can see, some of these missiles do have some good prediction on them. So this might not end up being a complete tie after all. Okay, so those half a dozen or so missiles that shoot off from the side when the Volcano is coming past like that appear to be consistently landing, but it's just trying to see now if it's actually really doing any real damage. really hard to see exactly what has been done by those missiles. They are consistently landing though, so it's just a matter of whether the repair is keeping up or not. Alright guys, we finally have a large explosion somewhere. A large volley did just land on the volcano, it looked like. Still not seeing too much damage, but that was the first instance of the game being slowed down while calculating a large explosion, so something has definitely happened. Okay, so I only just realized that the volcano actually appears to have lost one side of its turrets, maybe? Such a hard... Sorry, really hard to get a good view here. It's definitely missing its cannons. Sorry, it's just too fast, I can't get a good view on it right now. Yeah, it's missing one of its side turrets. Or at least the weapons of it, it's not rotating anymore. So that would have been what our massive explosion earlier was. Something's going on. The back of the volcano seems to have been hit by some of those missiles there. It's gone down. The volcano is down and now a sitting duck for the parallel almace to hit with all of its missiles. Ooh, no, it's up. Can it outrun this volley though without all of its jets? Yes, yes it can. It's not given up yet. This battle is not quite over. So it has gone back down into the water. Parallel almace, what am I? The hurricane, sorry, I'm getting confused. The hurricane has to get around and unleash its missiles while it can. And here they come. So Volcano is still fighting on. It seems to have lost all its weapons, but it's flying around now trying to dodge these missiles. But we have finally seen the Hurricane has proven that despite how fast it is not impossible to hit with missiles. Just need to, I'm guessing, pretty sure the Hurricane has augmented, what's it called? Yeah, the augmented targeting prioritization thing that, so the missiles go to where they predict the craft will be at the time of impact instead of just chasing after where the craft is. What's going on with the Hurricane? Where are the missiles? What's going on? It hasn't taken any damage that I saw. I do not know what is going on. Why is the Hurricane no longer launching its missiles? The volcano has no weapons to have done any damage. I do not know what could have happened here. There we go. Though it has given the volcano time to get some of its cannons back. That was very odd. I'm not sure what was going on there. Alright guys, this is taking too long. I have to do something to break this tie situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spawn something in on my team that will attack whichever's closest, or they'll both attack it, whatever, and whichever one survives the longest, whether they destroy it or whatever happens, you know, will be the winner. Because frankly, I don't think this is going to end on its own anytime soon. And it's already been a good half hour, so let's see. My team... built-in vehicles, what do we want? I was thinking a Kingstead, but I don't think it'd be fair because it'd be able to hit the Hurricane a lot easier than the Volcano. So I don't know what a lot of these even are, to be honest. So a Razor Maul will destroy them both. But it's a good, like, whichever one lasts the longest, that's what I'm doing. I'm spawning in a Razor Maul, guys. If it ever gets out of the water, I spawn it a bit low. It is locked onto the Hurricane first. Probably should have spawned it further away, I feel like. Yeah, that was really unfair. I spawned it right next to the Hurricane. What's the Volcano? Is the Volcano even coming in to fight it? Okay, as long as the Volcano's coming in to fight. As long as they kind of duke it out 3 ways, this will be fine. Well, it looks like a lot of those missiles might have made contact with the Volcano then. We got some explosions going on somewhere, was it? Not sure who it was on, because some of those missiles would have been hitting the Razor Maul as well. Are these all... I don't know if these are all anti-laser missiles on the Razor Maul. I'm pretty sure... No, yeah, it's got some lasers on the front, are offensive lasers. Okay, so right now both of them are going down. This is kind of working out perfectly, like the Razor Maul's hitting them both. They're both hitting each other and the Razor Maul. So I'm pretty satisfied with how this is going as a drawbreaker right now, as a tiebreaker right now. The Hurricane appears to have got the advantage. What do we do? What do we do here? I feel like I should maybe intermittently turn the Razor Maul on and off, like... just turn it off for a little while. No, apparently I cannot control the Razor Maul. Apparently it's locked to combat, even though it's spawned in on my team. That is unfortunate, because I'd really like to just turn it off for a couple minutes and see what happens between these two. Okay, so let's just get rid of that and see what happens. Now, they are both down in the water. What's going on? Alright guys, the game has frozen. Oh wait, no. Here we go. We got 5 frames for a second. Hopefully this is recording alright still. I'll just cut back in when it fixes itself. So the game glitched, it looks like, and scrapped the Hurricane somehow. Which means I now have to re-record this entire fight. Lovely. Alright guys, here we go again, second attempt. Because of how long I've already put into recording this matchup, and what we've seen happen, I'm going to give them 5 minutes to duke it out. At which point, if it looks like we're getting the same turnout, I will spawn in something smaller than the Razor Maul to as a tiebreaker. However, if I am forced to do that, this will become a sudden death. This is going to be a sudden death match instead of a best out of 3. So basically, I'm going to call that. It's going to be best out of 3, but the first match was a tie because neither one of them actually killed each other. There was a glitch that ended the match. We got an explosion down on the Hurricane. The Hurricane did also get some early missile damage onto the volcano. One of its turrets is down. Fortunately, that does not impede its ability to fly very much, so... Ooh, that was a large amount of missiles that made contact just then. Try and get a better view. Alright guys, it's been 5 minutes. I'm going to load something in to try and break this tie. It will not be a Razor Maul again. Not making that mistake again. Though I will try to pick something with lasers so it can hit both contestants here with some sort of consistency. Alright, what has lasers? Thunder sounds like it has lasers. Sounds like a kinda... I have no idea what that is. Maybe an Orca. What's an Orca? I don't remember what that is. I'm pretty sure it's got lasers though. One way to find out. Okay, no, that's not going to do much, I don't think. We'll see. Yeah, no, that's going to be useless. Let's get rid of that. That is a deep water guard ship by the looks of it. Yeah, let's go with a Thunder, whatever that is. It appears to be a boat with cannons and no lasers, no good for what we want. Let's get rid of that. 2-day would be nice. Try it again. Maybe a Valkyrie. Wood? No. No, rams, that's no good to us. Scrap you. Game is not enjoying loading in and scrapping so many vehicles, one after the other right now. It's taking a long time to scrap them. This is why we kind of just need a delete option instead of just the scrap option. Because when you scrap it, it actually has to take time to destroy the vehicle. Any day now would be really good. Is it still getting scrapped now that I've pulled it? No, probably not. Oh well. What has lasers but isn't? So I'll look at lightning hoods, planes. Alright, Beluga. Let's go with that, whatever that is. So, try to spawn it good distance from both of them. Don't want it just going straight for one like Raisinol did. Load. Beluga, beluga. Alright. Hopefully this will do the job. And hopefully it attacks both of them and not just the Hurricane, because that would suck and not be fair, and I would have to try again. Or the Hurricane could just take it out. Well, that failed. We'll try a Thunderbird maybe. Okay, unfortunately most AIs are set to just target the largest ships, which is the Hurricane. Oh, wait, no, we got some lasers going out towards the... I think we have some lasers? No, we don't. Volcano, maybe? But we also have frag warheads in play right now. So this will really suck if our tiebreaker craft just only attacks one of our contestants. Alright guys, gonna try and load in another one. And then if that doesn't work, just let it play out forever again, I guess. Okay, so that got disabled straight away, but not before absolutely hammering the Hurricane and completely ignoring the volcano, which is not what I want to happen. So I've spawned things in on top of the Hurricane a couple times now. I'm going to actually try and intentionally do it to the volcano to even things out. The Hurricane survived it. If the volcano can't, well, let's see what happens. And it's still actually targeting. Or are they just anti-missile lasers targeting that? No, the lasers are still targeting the Hurricane. So this isn't fair at all, really. Alright guys, this is just going on too long. I'm afraid I'm going to have to make a judgment based on the performance of each contender. Now I'm going to do my best to do this fairly in that, just based on the performance, how much damage they've actually inflicted to each other, how they performed against the various vehicles that I've spawned in on a third team in an attempt to get a definitive result from this. And I'm going to have to give the match, I feel, to the Hurricane. And I will justify why I believe that. In going head to head, there's only been one incident where either of the craft has been down for a significant period of time. And that was the volcano. That went down with its turrets shot off by the Hurricane. Also, throughout the entire period of trying to break this tie by spawning in a third vehicle, 90% of the time those vehicles were targeting pretty well exclusively the Hurricane, and despite this, the volcano was never actually able to take advantage of that fact and bring it down completely. So the Hurricane not only survived the onslaught of the volcano, but also a third ship as well, like a third contender, which to me just says it overall it probably is the superior design. I'm really sorry to Arcagnello for having to make this decision. It's nothing against your design, even though I have complained about the editing with it, because I'm having to do lots of cuts and time lapses because it can't hit or be hit, but I hope you understand that I am making this decision based on what I feel how each design has performed. And yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm just going to have to give it to the Hurricane. So that is it for the Losers A bracket. Probably be a couple more days before I upload the Winners and Losers B bracket, most likely in the same video, as it is just one match each. And then after that, I believe we go on to the finals. As always, appreciate your feedback. I'm sure there's going to be a few people disappointed with my decision to call this. Feel free to voice your opinion on that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.